Hey everyone, it's Patty from PS Paper Crafts. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to show you how to make this card. Sorry I've been away for a week, so I haven't had a video out. I was up in New York babysitting my grandkids, so I'm back. I usually try to prep something beforehand, but I just ran out of time. So anyway, we're going to make this card with the Snowman Season Stamp Set, which I absolutely love, and then the punch that goes along with it. And then I'm also using this pretty paper. It's the Feels Like Frost, and on one side it has these beautiful pictures. I mean, you could just stamp a little bit to it. They're really gorgeous. Feels Like Frost. And then the other side is this silver and white, and it's really pretty. So I have them all mixed up, but you see what I'm talking about. So I used this one for the snow. And I also just wanted to mention, if you're watching this the day I'm videoing it, which is October 23rd, Stampin' Up! Is having a 24-hour sale on stamps, 15% off on select stamps. So head over to my blog, pspapercrafts.com, and you can see the stamps. You could go to the Shop Now button, see the stamps that are available, and go ahead and place your order. So let's get started. I have the pieces cut as I usually do. I'm using the layering ovals for the circles. I already pre-cut them out, but the layering ovals, you get the regular oval and then the scalloped, so that's nice. So let's put that aside. The first thing I want to do is get a piece of scrap and stamp my snowman. So I have him stamped, and then I have him punched out. And I'll show you how I punch out the hat and the snowman and the arms kind of separately. So let's get the snowman going. I'm using my black Memento ink, and I'm just going to press that down and stamp it down. That looks good. And then I'm going to punch him out. And if you turn over the punch and push this up, it will unlock it. And now you see I'm going to use all of this. I kind of don't want to do that, so I'm going to just cut him so I don't waste my white paper. I mean, I have plenty of this paper, but so I'm going to just do that, and then I can punch him out. And it is hard to line up, everything at once. Like, you don't want to line up the hat. You could probably make a template and use it on the Stamparatus. And I'll do that one time and show you how I do that. So I don't have that much waste on this one. So that's good. So there's my snowman. And then I want to stamp my hat. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to do it on this little piece here. See if we can make that work. And I'm going to stamp it this way because I see that's how that stamp goes, or that's how the punch goes. So let's get that done. I'm going to close this up again. And then I'm going to just fit this in. It's just kind of paper saving. So I want to kind of line it up. I close it tight without punching it and get it really lined up. Whoops. And then I hit it and unline it up. That's not good. So let's do that. We've got those done. And then I'm using some early espresso for the hands or arms, the sticks. So I'm just going to go in the corner and punch those out. All right, so we've got our punching done. And then I'm going to just color in the hat a little bit. And I have some of my stamping blends to do that. And I'm doing the nose in dark pumpkin pie. And I'm going to use the small end on these and I kind of just dot it. I mean, you don't have to do too much. You can punch out the nose with pumpkin pie or some kind of orange paper and add that. But I just figured I would color it in. I'm going to do the brim of the hat in Seaside, what is it called? Seaside Spray. This is the dark one, because this is the paper that I'm using, so it kind of ties it all together. So I'm just going to do that, and then I have the actual hat I'm going to do in dark smoky slate. So I'm going to just lightly color this in. I wanted it black, but it kind of got a little, I don't know, too dark. So I thought this was a good color, and I like it with the Seaside Spray. Okay, and then we have the green leaves, so we'll do that in shaded spruce, and this is the dark as well. And I'm kind of just really dotting it, and then I have the real red, and this is the dark real red for the little berries. So I'll just color them in. Okay, so that's all done. So I'm going to put him together with some liquid glue. I'm going to just put the hat on and set him aside. So I'll just put a little liquid glue here, just right there, and put that on him. Oop, we don't want to cover his eyes. And then I'm going to put just a little dab on the end of his arms. Just a little bit will do it. And we'll stick them behind him. Let's do both of them here. You could put this on a silicone mat. I was just looking for mine. I thought I had it out. If you wanted to just make sure it didn't stick to anything. And just kind of let that dry. So I'm going to just leave that up there, get rid of these. And then we could start, let's see, we're going to do our background, which I did the snowflake from here, and I'm using the Seaside Spray ink. And let me just pull out a scrap of paper, scrap paper, so that we don't get the ink on my background here. So I'm going to just stamp this all around here, going off the paper. Just get some snowflakes here and there. So he's in a flurry of snow. Okay, we get that done. Close that up. And then the Let It Snow, I don't know if you've used these yet, but I'm using the silvery shimmer. I used the gold before, but I'm going to just stamp the sentiment, and you'll see that it is a little bit shimmery. It's pretty cool. It almost looks embossed, but not quite as shimmery. I don't know if you could see this. And you can heat dry it, or just let it dry. I'm going to do the inside as well. So on the inside, and then I'll heat them real quick, I have Hoping the Season Builds Heartwarming Memories with that same. So let me get that going so that I can put them both out to dry. So let me get that sentiment out. And actually, I'll just hit them really quick with the heat tool. So I'm going to put it up here because I am going to also stamp this cute little snowman. I love this snowman. He's, I think, one of my favorites in this set. I wanted to do the punch-out one just to pop him up, but this guy is cute. So I'm going to do black pimento ink, and I'll put that down here. Okay, and then I'll do a few more snowflakes at the top. And then I'm going to just hit that with the heat tool real quick. So let me get my Seaside Spray out again. I think these guys are really cute, and I love that you can punch out the one snowman, and you could punch out some of the snowmen in the designer series paper. It works with that, which is really cool, and the hat in the designer series paper. So you can do a lot with this whole suite. Okay, so let's just heat this really quick. Just bear with me, I'll speed it up. Okay, and you don't have to do that. You can just let it dry, but it might smear a little bit if you go right away with it. So let's put our pieces together. First, I'm going to attach these pieces to the card base. And I did find this is a little thin, so you really have to be careful with the liquid glue. You just want to do a little bit. And isn't this so gorgeous? I hated to cover that up, but you have to pick a side and go with it. So I'm really just going to be very sparing with this, because I did see it shows through a little bit, so you might want to use a different adhesive just for this piece. I like to use the liquid glue for everything if I can. And then we're going to put some ribbon on before I put that down. So I'm using the Seaside Spray. It's got silver in it, so it's really pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut, and I am getting a cold here, so excuse my voice. I'm going to just cut, looking for my ribbon scissors, cut a piece here and wrap it around. And I've been using Scotch tape. You can use whatever you want, but I'm finding the Scotch tape is fast and it does a good job. So I'm going to just put a piece of Scotch tape in the back. Make sure it's wrapped around good and even. And then I'll put another piece down. Okay. And then we can adhere this to the card base. And I love this color. It's one of my favorite new in colors, the Seaside Spray. And I love it when you have things that coordinate, right? The ribbon goes with it, and it's really pretty. And I'll have all the dimensions and everything on my blog. So don't worry about, what size I cut the paper and all of that. You can get it on my blog. And then I'm going to I'm going to adhere these pieces down together. And then I pop them up. So we'll just put this, and this is where I like the liquid glue, because you can really move it around. You don't put it down and it's stuck there. It gives you a little bit of time to maneuver. You have to be able to maneuver. And then we'll put this down. Let it snow. You could do Merry Christmas with a bigger oval, or you could do these on rectangles or something like that. And then we want to, we want to pop him up on here. So let me get my dimensionals out. My little happy snowman. I'll put 4 on him. Let me just cap my glue here so it doesn't dry out. And I'll just take the backs off and put them on that oval. I went from cold weather, and I'm back down in Florida. I was freezing up there. It wasn't that cold in New York, but for me it was really cold. Cold in the house. Heat wasn't on yet, that whole thing. It's kind of early in the year to start. And actually, we heat the house with a wood stove, and I didn't really want to start a fire yet. It's a little early, but I'm glad to be down in the warm weather again. I don't like to be cold. But I got to see my grandkids. I have a little granddaughter who's 2 and a grandson who's 4. And they are just wonderful. So let's put this down. But exhausting too. I was babysitting. So I don't know why I'm opening the glue. So it was a little tiring, but well worth it. So let's get these down. And then I make a bow and put the inside in and we're good. So let me just get a bow. No, here's my scissors. Let me get them. I like to cut my ends with ribbon scissors. So I usually just do the bow on the roll and then I cut it. Just make sure you have enough to make your bow. And that's probably not enough. I try to be so sparingly with things, but you have to give yourself enough ribbon to make your bow. I think that's good enough. And that's kind of long. I like to hold them together because I have a problem cutting the same length. I don't know if you have that problem, but I end up cutting and cutting and cutting, and meanwhile there's no tail to it. So I'm going to use a glue dot to adhere that. I have one right here. So I just take it off, make it into a little ball, and adhere it to the back. And it does a nice job. So there's the front, and then we have our inside, which there it is. We'll just put that inside with a little bit of liquid glue, and then the card is done. Oh, and we'll put some gems on it, some rhinestones, and some of the in-color gems that come with the Seaside Spray. So it's nice to put a pearl or a rhinestone with a colored one. I think that gives it a nice little look. So see, I put some of each around. So let me get those out. So these are the in-color faceted dots, that's what they're called. And then I just have some rhinestones. So let me get my pick tool, and we'll put some of these around. I just put one here, and I put a little one down here. I'm kind of copying what I did. I overthink this. I don't know if you guys do that, but I always overthink where am I putting these things. And it's supposed to just look random, but I don't know. I always have a go back and forth on where I want to have them. And I think I'll just put this one more up here. So there you have it. Aren't they cute? I like this guy. I love him. And I think it's a cute card. Okay, well, thanks for joining me. And hop over to my blog for that 24-hour sale. All right, take care. Bye.